my name is Susan Binder, and I am your child's American Studies teacher this semester. Tonight, I just want to tell you a little bit about myself and about the class. And if you have any questions, then you can follow up with an email or a phone call to the school. So this class is American Studies. It is a ninth grade course. It is the class that I've taught primarily since I came to Cocalico. I've been here for 15 years, and I've taught this ninth grade course since I arrived at Cocalico. I also teach the Contemporary Issues elective, which is a 9th to 12th grade elective. This American Studies class is a required course for all ninth graders. And in the class, students learn about people, places, events, problems in U.S. history in the 20th century. So our main focus is 1900 to 2000, although, of course, we do discuss more current events. And I try as much as possible to tie those current events into past events. So, for example, when we talk about the conservation movement during the progressive era of the early 1900s. We'll also sort of fast forward to the present and talk about current environmental issues and how the current situation compares to 100 years ago and efforts today compared to 100 years ago. So that's just one of many examples of how I try to tie in past and present events, primarily so that students can see that there is a connection between the world that we have today and that we live in today and the things that happened in the past, and how those past events influence the present, and how we can learn from the past in the present as we make decisions. In terms of grading, the final grade for this class is based on 3 components. There's the marking period grades. Marking period 1 and marking period 2 are each 40% of the grade, and then there is also a final project and final exam that are worth 20%. The final project is a written essay. The final exam is a cumulative exam that covers everything going back to the very first week of school. So that is how the grade breaks down. And then the marking period grades are divided into 2 components. And this is a weighted system. So when I put the grades into PowerSchool automatically applies the weighting and calculates the grade accordingly. So major assignments, or what we call summative assignments, things like tests, quizzes, writing assignments, things that are designed to show me what the students know and are able to do, are 90% of their marking period grade. So the bulk of their marking period grade is based on what they can do and what they know. The remaining 10% is what we would call formative assignments, the homework, the classwork that they complete when they are learning the material. And that is just 10% of the grade. So, students might notice, especially early on when they just recently did a little discussion prompt that I counted as a major assessment because we spent some time talking about the topic. And it was a good way for me to see that they were understanding what we were discussing, and they did a really nice job with it. So I made that an assessment grade. But they did notice then a bigger shift in their grade after I put that in the grade book, because it is weighted heavier than their homework assignments are. If students don't do well on a test or a quiz or a writing assignment, they may retake the test or quiz. They may also revise and resubmit the writing assignment, and I will regrade it. And in both cases, the new grade simply replaces the old grade, and that is to give the kids the opportunity to improve their grade and to show improvement. For major assignments like writing assignments, they have 2 weeks to get it turned in, but they are going to lose points for every day it's late. So I'll set a due date, and if it's not submitted at that day and time, then they do lose points for every day that it's late, up to 10% off the earned grade. As far as homework, they get half credit if they turn it in late, and it has to be submitted by the end of the unit. Once the unit ends and they take the test, I will no longer accept homework from that unit. The primary purpose of homework in this class is to give students the background knowledge that they need to complete the activities and discussions that we do in class. A lot of test questions come from homework assignments. And this year things are working a little differently. We do have extended blocks this year because we don't have any focus period at the end of the day. So our classes are about 90 minutes long, which is 20 minutes longer than they were last year and in previous years. So during that extra time, the students really are able to get a lot of work done, and they really haven't had much work that they've had to do outside of regular class time. Also, it's important to understand that homework is graded for completion only. So if the students complete the homework or the assignment, whether it is classwork or homework, as long as they answer all the questions and do their best with it, they'll get full credit. So if it's a 10-point, 10-question assignment, they answer all 10 questions, they get a 10 out of 10. If they only answer half the questions, they get a 5 out of 10. If they answer 8 of the questions, they get an 8 out of 10. So it's based completely on completion, and I do that to try to encourage them to take risks and if they're even if they're not sure, to take a guess and always do their best. And then we do go over a lot of the assignments in class, and even when we don't go over the assignments, I do post answer keys on Schoology for all of the assignments so that students can go back and check their work and make corrections if they need to. Finally, there are many ways that students can boost their grade further if they maybe miss out on a retake, maybe they don't get in time to get that test retaken, or just choose not to. There are other ways they can boost their grade, or even if they do well on all their tests and writing assignments and they still just want to pull that grade up a little bit higher. There are bonus homework assignments. There are many articles that I have and assignments that I have that we simply don't have time for in class, and so I will often make those available. If the kids want to do a little enrichment and learn beyond the scope of the class, topics related to things that we're talking about in class, they can complete these little assignments and get some extra homework points. They can also collect Binderbucks. Normally I would hand these out. I won't be handing them out this year. I'll just be keeping a tally. But when we play review games in class and things like that, they have the opportunity to answer questions and earn Binderbucks, which can be turned in at the end of the marking period for a half point each. Extra credit is another opportunity that students can complete some additional research beyond what we discussed in class and complete. There's sort of a menu of different options that they can pick from, complete a little project and turn that in and get some extra points. And finally, for any student who turns in every single homework assignment and it is complete and on time every single time, I add 10 points to their grade automatically. And usually there are only a couple of students who manage that, but there are always a few students who do that, and I want to make sure I reward them for making that effort. So there's plenty of ways that the kids can boost their grades and opportunities for them to be successful and do their best. There really is a lot of material. There's a lot of ground that we cover. It's 100 years of history, but I try to, as much as possible, give them every opportunity to do their best and be successful. They can always send me a message or talk to me in class if they have any questions, and the same thing for you. Please, if you have any questions or concerns about the class or your child's performance in the class, please don't hesitate to reach out and send me an email or call the school. My email address is sbinder@cocalico.org, and the school's phone number is 717-336-1423. Thank you for watching, and I hope you have a wonderful evening and a great rest of the school year.